What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Hot List. I'm your host, Matt Johnson with Keller Realty. In the Hot List, we talk about real estate. We talk properties new to the market, properties with recent price reductions, or something unique about the property that I want to share with y'all and want y'all to know. I also answer question of the day that is submitted by a listener of the podcast. To find out how you can get your question answered on air, all you got to do is stick around to the end. Finally, I recognize and thank a sponsor of the week each and every single week. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor of the week or curious about what it takes to become a sponsor of the week, just hang out with me for a few minutes and I will get you that info over. So thank you everybody for tuning in, hanging out, and joining me. Typically, I do this around 12 o'clock Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. As you can see, those that are joining me live, I am a little bit behind. And yes, I have been absent for a number of weeks. It's a combination of my son recently being diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Real estate market has picked up in most areas. So buyers, sellers, things are definitely picking up. I don't want to say crazy. They are just busier and more productive than what I have been in recent months. And for those that may or may not know, the second annual Bowling for Businesses event is coming up in just under 2 weeks. So I've been dedicating a lot of time to that as well. And I'm going to go into a little bit more of that with our sponsor of the week. So the property we are talking about today, the address is 1225 Presby Drive, right here in Emporia. This house is a ranch style house. It's got 5 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms. It does have an attached 2-car garage. It's got 2,918 square feet of finished space, currently listed for $319,900 courtesy of X Real Estate. What is unique about the property, and part of the reason why I haven't done a lot of this recently, is because homes right now typically don't last very long on the market. You know, the days on market is going down and demand for houses is definitely going up. What I love about this house, it's in a northwest location close to C of E Park here in Emporia, and you've got 4 bedrooms on the main level, which is always nice to have, and then you've got a partially finished basement. Now throughout the house you'll see it's got some hardwood, and it's true hardwood, not just the laminate style hardwood. Nice large kitchen and a back deck that overlooks C of E Park, gives you an awesome view. You also have an in-ground sprinkler system that's going to help you water your grass and take care of your lawn a little bit better than you would otherwise. And then finally out front you have a covered porch. So if you have any questions about the property, make sure that you shoot me a message. All you got to do is click on the link in the description. That's going to take you right to my website so you can see the property for yourself. And if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer those for you. If you are a pre-approved buyer not currently working with an agent, I would love to set up an appointment with you as well as schedule a showing for you as well. Before I get to the question of the day, I do want to recognize and thank our sponsor of the week this week, and that is Flint Hills Lanes. Flint Hills Lanes is right here in Emporia, and they have done a lot. They have definitely helped us, and my group, which is Lyon County Boosters, has teamed up with Flint Hills Lanes. Again, they are located 1519 West 6th Avenue right here in Emporia. Saturday, June 12th, the Bowling for Business is going to be our second annual Bowling for Businesses event. This is a fundraising event that's going to help businesses in the Lyon County area that have been affected by COVID. We're raising funds for those businesses. We have 3 time frames that you can choose from. You can have up to 5 bowlers per team, and then we have some sponsorship opportunities as well. So if you're interested in putting a team together, or you want to You can check out sponsorships as well. All you got to do is just get a hold of me, or you can go to bowlingforbusinesses.com. That is the number 4. So make when you spell it out, and they can you can check out the website from there and get a lot of your questions answered. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor of the week, all you got to do is shoot me a message. We'll have a quick call about what it takes to become a sponsor of the week and be recognized on the hot list Monday through Friday. And when I do these episodes not only go to Facebook, they go to LinkedIn, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, and iTunes. So if you have any questions, all you got to do is shoot me a message. We'll have a conversation of what it takes to become a sponsor of the week and get you rolling to be a sponsor of the hot list. Alright, so now is my favorite part of the show, and that is the question of the day. The question of the day is submitted by a listener of the podcast. So each and every day when I do these, the questions I answer and the topics I cover are questions that are asked by individuals, by listeners of the podcast. So if you have a real estate question, you're not sure where to start, I would love to be the real estate resource that you reach out to and think of first when it comes to this, and do what I can to get these answered for you. So the question of the day: how big of a ceiling fan do I need? This is a little outside of my wheelhouse, but as somebody who has just gone through updating, replacing some ceiling fans and installed these myself, I actually had to do a little bit of research to figure out what it takes, how big is too big, how small is too small. And because the heat of summer is fast approaching, well, at least here in Kansas anyways, depending on where you're at, there are ways to stay cool, and these are definitely going to be important this time of year. And don't get me wrong, you can always upgrade or install your HVAC system. That does get expensive and just may add to an ongoing cooling bill. Just saying. Now, one of the major cooling system upgrades that isn't needed or that you can do, there are a simple fix or fixes for these. For example, hanging the right kind of curtains or installing the right type of blinds or ceiling fans to go in rooms actually go a long way. So what we're going to talk about today are going to be 3 things you need to know to install the right ceiling fan in the room. Number 1, how big should your fan be? Well, we all want to get the most out of our ceiling fans. I'm sure that's a given. Do you have to choose the right size for the room that you want? The simple answer would be yes, because choosing the right size for that room is going to maximize the effectiveness of it, as well as the cooling factor. If the room kind of feels underwhelmed by the effect of the ceiling fan that's currently in there, or maybe you don't have a fan in there, more often than not, that fan is going to be too small for that space. So to get the right fan in the room, you need to know the square footage of the room that you're wanting to put it in. If you don't know how to get the square footage of the room, you just measure the length of the room, you measure the width of the room, multiply those together. That gives you the square footage of that room. Once you know that square footage, now you can figure out what size of fan you're going to need. For example, the square footage in my bedroom that I'm looking at doing is, hang on, is 168 square feet. So rooms that are 144 square feet or smaller, you can actually get away with a 42-inch fan, or one of the smaller ones. They have like 35 or 38-inch fans. You'd get away with one of those. Rooms that are 145 to 255, you can get away with a 44-inch fan is recommended. Once you get above 256 square feet, a 52-inch fan or larger is going to be recommended. Just a quick side note here. The further you get over 300 square feet, just keep in mind that one fan may not be enough. So you may need to install two fans just to maximize that cooling effect. Number two, positioning the ceiling fan. Typically, these are placed in the center of the room, depending on the square footage, and granted, you're just going to install one fan. Now, this is not a strict rule. It's just kind of the general, because for aesthetic reasons and for maximum effect, people typically go with the center. Now, there may be situations where you have a better place or another place that a fan may have to go because airflow is going to be blocked by something near the center of the room. So in that situation, you want to place the fan in a better location because that's going to give you better airflow. Another common issue when it comes to positioning your ceiling fan is the vertical height. Ceilings that are 8 feet or lower, they're pretty simple. Fans are typically just mounted to the ceiling, and I'm only 5'8", so no matter what, I don't really have to worry about hitting my head on it. Once you get around that 9 foot and higher, you're going to want to use some type of down rod on the ceiling, and these are used to ensure the fan is at the optimal position for cooling. Especially when you get into the A-frame style houses, the ones that come with the fans may not be enough, because typically you get like a 3 or 4 inch rod, maybe a 6 inch that comes with the fan. And with the A-frame style house or houses that have larger ceilings, you may have to look at 24 to 36 down rods to reach that optimal cooling position. And finally, number 3 on the list, ceiling fan installation. If you've never installed a ceiling fan, it may seem overwhelming or may seem like a big job. I can tell you from personal experience, it's really not. I have done ceiling fan replacement as well as new installation. And from my experience, typically it can be simpler than what you might expect. And to get it done, it's pretty simple. You have to install the box for a fan if you're adding a new one and not replacing one. I would recommend getting the box that has braces on it that you can connect to the frame in the ceiling for reinforcement, so it's not going to come down after you hang it. Once it's secured, you got to run the wiring to the fan, attach the hanger basket, and then finally assemble the fan, connect it to the wiring, and hang the fan. If you're not comfortable with your skill level, or maybe you just don't simply have the time, I would recommend hiring somebody to get it done, because this is going to go faster than if you try to do it yourself or watch YouTube to try to get it done. When I had the new ceiling fan installed, I actually hired a buddy of mine to come help me do it. I did help him and learn how to do it, but he is a certified and licensed electrician, so I asked for his help to get everything going and just help me out, because I knew with his help it was going to go a lot faster than if I was just relying on it by myself. So there you have it. Those are the 3 things you need to know about ceiling fan installation. So number 1, how big your fan should be. Again, figure out the square footage of your room and you can go from there. Number 2 is positioning the ceiling fan. Generally, for aesthetics and effective cooling, it is in the center of a room. Unless you go over 300 square feet, you may need to put in multiple fans, or there's something blocking the center of the room. And then number 3 was ceiling fan installation. It's pretty simple, especially if you are replacing one. If you're installing a new one, don't worry about it. It's not that big a deal. You can get it done yourself or hire somebody to do it, and it will go much faster. That is going to wrap it up for me. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Hot List. I greatly appreciate it. And if you want some more information about the second annual Bowling for Businesses event that is coming up in less than 2 weeks, all you got to do is shoot me a message, drop me a comment wherever you're listening to this, and I will gladly get you some information. So teams are forming now, as well as sponsorship opportunities. Don't miss out, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Again, so thank you guys for tuning in. Again, I'm your host, Matt Johnson with Keller Williams Realty. I do this because your experience matters and should be trusted with a veteran. Y'all have a phenomenal day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.